and Gain Clarity webinar. These are my 4 best tips to help you get unstuck, to get that clarity so you can create positive momentum in your life. This is a very short 20-minute webinar. I wanted to keep it nice and sweet. Thank you for being here. Summertime is not an easy time to gather people for something like this. I will be sharing the recording, not necessarily the end part when we're doing our live Q&A, but I will share the actual webinar segment, and I'll send it to you by email. So take a peek at that, especially you, Mindy. I know you're on the phone, so you may not be able to see all the images. Please do take notes if you have a notepad, if you have a chance, because sometimes the material that I send you afterwards, which I will, I'll send you some notes and whatnot, may not be exactly how you interpret it in the moment. So please do share or take some notes for yourself so you can capture those thoughts and ideas that you have as we go through. But really, it's 20 minutes, jam-packed. I'm going to go pretty quick, and you can answer all the questions I can at the end, and it's some live coaching at the end too, which is really nice, because a question you might have, someone else might have as well. So I want to give a quick introduction to myself. Some of you, I think all of you know who I am, but people who are watching this afterwards may not know who have signed up. My name is Tricia. I work as a passion igniter. That means I'm a speaker and a coach, and essentially at the core of what I do, how I'm of service and what gets me juiced up is I help people create what they say they want. I'm a mom of 3 young girls, and I've grown up in an entrepreneurial environment. We own retail stores for music. We manufacture guitars called River Song Guitars. And I've also worked in radio for 18 years part-time. It was never a full-time calling. I'll talk more about that later. But I have worked in radio. Now, this picture is lovely, and I want to preface this entire presentation, this entire webinar with this quick thought. You know, it's a lovely picture, but it was a good moment. It's not how it always is. And you know, a couple minutes before, these girls were fighting like cats and dogs. And of course, as soon as this great image was shot, you know, I'm pretty sure they went back to fighting. It was quite an interesting photo shoot that time around. So I want you to remember that as you go on social media, in all aspects of your life, when you see how other people are living or what they're doing, it's so easy to get sucked into the vortex, that crazy, insane vortex of comparison. And we'll talk more about that too. But I wanted to touch on this. So as you're going through social media and you see things that are happening, to remember that those are just moments. And life is not a constant state of happiness. Really, I think the true concept of what I call rocking your life is pursuing moments of joy. I mean, it's not really human to actually be happy all the time. So those Instagram shots of that person who's like always happy, I am not always happy. I want people say it all the time. Oh my God, Tricia, you're always so happy. I'm like, yeah, well, I was actually last night very hormonal and crying in the walk-in closet, but upside down so the tears wouldn't, you know, my mascara wouldn't run. We all have those moments. We all have times in our life where we're challenged, where we have gone through some serious emotional hardships, physical hardships. I call these moments transitions. And they are golden moments, but they are hard moments. In the concept of getting stuck, because so many people come to me with that one thing, and this is why I created a webinar around it. So many people say, I'm stuck. I just feel stuck. And it's like a descriptive word for so many things. And what I think about that is that you're in a state of transition. You're being called for something different. You are in a state of change and evolution from who you are to what you're going to become, from where you are to where you're going to go. Circumstances in your life are changing. Perhaps it's a change in relationship. For many people, it can be a loss of a relationship. Perhaps it's a change in the relationship you have with yourself. That's a big one that people often miss because they're looking for outside sources. But often it's a change in the relationship we have with ourselves. It could be that you don't like your job and you feel stuck because you just don't know where to go. It could be that you don't know why you're stuck, but something is making you feel like you're just not fully satisfied. And satisfaction, it's a really important concept to rocking your life. So we are in a state of transition. And for men and women, actually, I hear the same things, although it manifests in different ways. So many of us humans have that same experience of just feeling stuck, being in a place of transition. So tonight, I want to ask you, what is your state of transition? What is your transition? You're here on this call for a reason. and you saw the title, Get Unstuck, Gain Clarity, which to me is a big, giant beacon for just transition. So what's your transition? And we're not always in one transition. Often we're in several transitions. So what could that possibly be for you right now? And I just want you to think about that and be very you-centered in the next 18, 17 minutes or so. I mean, literally, these next 17 minutes are about you. You. It's okay to be self-centered every now and then in our pursuit of rocking our life and that fulfilling life experience. So what possible transition are you in right now? And if you don't know, that is okay too, because we don't always know. And that's why, people come to someone like myself to get a coaching to uncover those variables or the circumstances or the reasons why they feel stuck. So if you feel stuck, you're not sure why, that's okay too. These strategies are going to help you. Some of you have actually taken my Rock Your Life program, whether it's in a group or one-on-one version. The Rock Your Life program is based completely on helping people through those transitions in their life, whatever they can be, because I see common variables in every single transition I've ever worked with my clients. It's a 16-week program. It includes 16 life tools and one-on-one focused coaching. I call it unlimited possibilities, depending on how much you're willing to dig in and take action. But the Rock Your Life program is the foundation, and I put my heart and soul into this program because it's really a culmination of the work I've done with other people and my own life experiences into basically 16 weeks of intense leadership training. And the core of it, as some of you know, you've probably heard me say this word 1,000 times, the core of the program is this one word, action. It all comes down to action. Because if you're not willing to take action, nothing will change for you. So tonight, in this very short webinar, I'm going to ask you if you're willing to take action. If you're willing to go outside that comfort zone. Because sometimes inaction becomes comfortable. It does. It becomes a comfortable place. Even if not taking action means that you're not sure, or you're not pursuing what you think you should be, or you feel misalignment, or you're unhappy in a relationship, or you're unhappy with something about yourself. But sometimes it becomes more comfortable to be in that state of anxiety than to step outside of it and take action, because taking action is much bolder, and that means you're really navigating your own life experience. So are you willing to take action? Because if you are, the strategies I'm about to share will have impact, will make a difference. But only if you're willing to take action. Because if you don't do something to make a change, nothing will change. And I find that friends aren't willing to say that to us. I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. I'll tell my girlfriend that. And then day 3, I don't go anymore, even though I think 5 times is a lot for me. But, and does my girlfriend say, well, you said you were going to go 5 days. No, people in our lives don't typically do that. So maybe I'm the first person in a little while to look you in the eyes, kind of through my camera, and say that if you're not willing to make change, nothing will change. It all comes down to action. So with the action mindset, let's go to tip number 1 for getting unstuck and gaining clarity. And remember, these are at the core of my Rock Your Life program. These are strategies that I use all the time myself. I truly try to walk my talk. I'm not always great at it, but I truly try. Here's your first tip. You don't have to have it all figured out. Holy crap, right? You don't have, I think particularly I find with women that we want to have all our T's crossed and our I's dotted before we move forward. But it's not possible to have it all figured out before you move forward. Action, action, action. And it actually releases a lot of pressure when you own the mindset that you don't have to know it all. You don't have to be great at it. I mean, if you're trying something new, you're going to suck. It's okay to suck. It's the only way to get better. Every master was a disaster. So you do not have to know it all or have it all figured out to move forward, to take action. Life really, I find, is like a puzzle. Can you imagine if you were to open up a beautiful puzzle, sit down and pick up the first piece, pick up the second piece, and it fits perfectly with the next. And every piece, one after another, just you don't even have to figure it out. You just put the pieces together. I mean, would that be the point of a puzzle? No? Maybe? I don't think so. And life isn't like that. We're constantly getting experiences and ideas and thoughts and perceptions and expectations that are little pieces of puzzles, skills and passions and purpose. And we have to slowly pick them up, figure it out, put them together, put them down, it takes a process. It takes persistence. And oh my God, it takes patience. And I don't know about you guys, but that's one thing I struggle with is patience. Patience is really what we need. And part of patience, if you want to flip that coin, I find, is actually having a little compassion for yourself. Compassion that you don't have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all figured out. And compassion that you can screw up. And compassion for yourself that you don't have to be the diva of doing it all the time. So putting the puzzle pieces together is part of the process. Action equals clarity. Are you stuck? If you are, take action in one way or another, and you will move towards your clarity. I promise you that. You got to trust the process, because again, the only alternate thing you can do is do nothing, which changes nothing. So here's your tip number 2. Tip number 2 for getting unstuck and gaining clarity. Stop comparing and start creating. We spend so much energy, especially in our digitally connected environment with social media. That's why I preface this webinar with the idea that, pictures don't always speak 1,000 words. We spend so much time comparing that we start putting so much energy into that element of our life, we negate our ability to create for ourselves. So we're looking outward versus expressing from inward. And it's creating our best life experience that's going to actually make the difference between being stuck or being unstuck, again, based on action. And truly, comparison is the thief of joy. And I've shared this many times because I think it's such a powerful nugget of truth. Thank you, Theodore Roosevelt. Good job, Theodore. The comparison is the thief of joy because it's stealing our energy. It's stealing our focus. It's stealing our innovation. It's stealing our possibility. It's stealing our mindset. It's stealing the time we can be open to actually be seeing things around us that we can be doing for ourselves if we're focused on what other people are doing. And this is nothing new, but I think we need to be reminded of it constantly. I know I do, because again, it is easy to be sucked into the vortex of comparison. It's a bit of a monster. So to get out of that vortex, to start putting the energy towards creating, I want you to think about what gets you excited, what lights you up, what juices you up, as I like to call it. But what gets you excited? So kids are awesome, and I know some of you have children. They're so good at just doing what they like, what they enjoy. They don't have to have reasons for it. They don't have to they don't have to sit down and strategically think about it and plan for it and block it off and time blocking. They just do it, and they have unlimited energy for it. So I want you to think about what gets you excited and to create a passion project out of that. So a passion project, it's actually a new element in the Rock Your Life program, because I found so many people were just not spending the energy on creating for themselves a life experience built on things that they like to do. We just get so busy, we become disconnected from that. And it doesn't have to be something big, and you don't have to be a master at it. It's just something that you enjoy that becomes a little project for you. This will help to connect you with that sense that you're navigating your own life experience, and it will get you unstuck. Because I do find that even if you're stuck in one area of your life, if you start to focus on creating in another, it completely changes your mindset and you feel less stuck in the other area. I don't know if that makes sense, but it has a big impact. So you start creating for yourself. A passion project. I'm going to give you an example of my own passion project. It's the Rock Your Life radio show. So I worked in radio. I love being a DJ. It's not something I ever wanted to do full time, but I do enjoy it. I love filling in. I love working with indie artists. I grew up in a music store, people who are so passionate about their music, who played in bars for nothing, who spent day after day dreaming about being a star in their own way. And indie artists, not every single artist can be on the radio. It's just not enough room for it. That's a whole different webinar. But there's so much amazing talent in music. So I thought, that's a neat idea. How about if I combine my radio experience, piece of a puzzle, with my kind of my interest, what juices me up is indie music. And then how about if I throw in my Rock Your Life stuff, because I love creating that content, that's what juices me up, and put it together like an FM style show. So I started emailing artists, getting them to fill out forms. They send me their life wisdom, why they wrote their songs, and I'm creating the first show. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know how to put it together. I'm just taking it step by step, but it's just been a fun project. I get up at 5 in the morning to work on this because it's not part of my regular business plan. I'm not making money off of it. It's just for fun. But man, when you're doing something that you're interested in and it sparks that little electricity, you find time, right? I'm sure you can have examples in your own life where you find the time. So 5 a.m., I'm down here. I'm not working out. No, I'm not working out. I'm working on my Rocket Life radio show. Yeah, that's another discussion too. So let's go to tip number 3 for getting unstuck and gaining clarity. Do one thing different every day for 1 week. Trust the process. I promise you, this will have a big impact on your life experience and how you feel about your life experience. And novelty is key. See, when you do things differently, you start to become connected to the possibility that how you're living your life every day doesn't necessarily have to be done that way, but we become creatures of habit. I always say, I remember one time I had my living room furniture the same way for about 5 years. And one day I got this idea, maybe I'll move it around. I changed it and I was like, holy crap, why didn't I do that 5 years ago? This is so much better. Or any element in your life that you rearrange, maybe you weren't thinking you need to do it or whatever inspired you to do it, but novelty, creating new habits or just doing something different reminds you that you're in the driver's seat, that you are the captain of the ship, even though in many elements in your life you may not think you are, and it reminds you of that. Novelty is inspirational, it is refreshing. That's why going on a holiday, just seeing different scenery makes us feel alive. Our senses become alive, and it impacts our life experience. So one thing different every day for a week. This could be going on a different route to your work. It could be bringing different utensils to eat your lunch. I don't know what it would be. It could be anything, and it doesn't have to be anything really big, but novelty is key. Do the challenge. I promise you it'll have a big impact. I would love to hear about it too. I'll give you my information afterwards. Tip number 4, promised you this would be short. Tip number 4 for getting unstuck and gaining clarity. You cannot think your way to success. That's one of the most important tips. You cannot think your way to success. Hey, I'm all about strategy. I mean, I work with clients. We do strategy day sessions, like full day, 8 hours of strategizing. Strategizing, great. But you cannot think your way to success, because what is the foundation of creating change? Action. Nothing changes unless you're willing to take action. That's why so many people will go to a personal development conference or a workshop or seminar, take some amazing notes and feel totally inspired. I know I've done this. And then you go home, you put your book away, and you don't do anything with it. So unless you're willing to take action from those notes or action from this webinar, nothing will change. So you cannot think your way to success until the day that pigs fly. You cannot think your way to success until the day that you can just say, yeah, I'm going to plan it all out and I will not fail. I will not be faced with unforeseen circumstances. I will not be faced with the fact that things will evolve as I go. Until all that happens and pigs fly, then yeah, no, you can't think your way to success. It's just not possible. But you can strategize, and then you take action, and then you tweak what you're doing, and then you take more action, and then you reflect, and you tweak, and you do it again and again and again and again and again. So when I work with people in business, I find that where they get stuck the most is they want to plan everything out because money's invested, time's invested, and then they either get stuck in the planning zone and don't launch or move forward because they're just more comfortable there. Because to actually launch and move forward, then you are going to be faced with the possible failures or possible realizations that you couldn't plan at all in the first place, and whatever it could be, whatever the story is. But you cannot think your way to success, whether it's in your professional life, your personal life, relationships, anything. It's a truth that if you truly embody that, you'll always be motivated and inspired, even when it's hard, even when you face the greatest and most difficult circumstances, to continue to move forward if you really embody that truth. And it all comes down to action. I told you I'd say that word a lot. It doesn't have to be big steps. It can be the smallest little steps every day, taking that different route to work, doing something that's novel for you, go shopping at midnight, whatever it might be for you that helps to inspire you to keep moving forward. Remember, action equals clarity. You won't be able to think your way to success. You cannot have it all figured out in the here and now. That only comes from doing. Action equals courage. I mean, how many times have you done something? And even though you failed, you're kind of like, oh yeah, cool. I'm proud of myself for doing that. I'm proud of myself for doing that. Action equals courage, and action equals confidence. Because only from doing can you get better and gain the confidence. By thinking, you just live in that gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. It's another powerful quote. So I asked in the very beginning, are you willing to take action? In your brain, you answered that. Now with these 4 strategies and some what I call love work coming up. It's homework, but love work. Sound like homework. The real question deep down is, are you willing to? And what are you willing to do? How uncomfortable are you willing to get to move forward? Here's your love work. What is the one thing you will do tomorrow to start creating what you want? Now, typically when I ask this question to a group or a call, I know I get the response, well, Trisha, I don't actually know what I want, and that's why I'm here, because I'm stuck. And I get that. But remember, you don't have to have it all figured out. You can't. You can't always have it all figured out. It's not possible. So to create what you say you want, if that could be as simple as saying you want to get feeling like you're getting unstuck. So that could be going through the webinar notes. That could be doing that one novel action step. Or maybe you do have a more defined idea as to what you want to create in your life, the experience you want to create, the goals you want to create. Then what is one thing you'll do tomorrow? Not in a week, not next month, tomorrow. Tomorrow that will help you start creating what you want. And it doesn't have to be a big step. I would love for you to share that with me. Please send it to me, trisha@passionateigniter.ca. And just send me a quick email and tell me what you're going to do. That one thing. Remember you said, or you didn't say, I'm assuming you said in your brain that you were going to take action. This could be it. Send me the email and tell me that one thing you're going to do to start creating what you want tomorrow. trisha@passionateigniter.ca. So the Rocky Life program is based on action, action, action. And as a thank you for attending the webinar, if you're interested in the experience of the one-on-one coaching, that's what I like to focus on. I have a very small, limited amount of clients at one time. We do constant text messaging back and forth. It's a very supportive environment. But by simply attending tonight, you do get a $50 off option or offer per month for the full 4 months. So that is it for the program of today's webinar. It's short and sweet, some powerful strategies in there. Again, if you're willing to take action, I'm going to stop the share and open it up, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you want to do some live coaching or you have some thoughts, or you want to share some stories that you thought of while I was going through the webinar, please do. Please share, because when we share, we learn. Anyone want to share?